put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Good morning, viewers, and welcome back to the Tobago Updates morning show. It's just at about 7:11 a.m. I'm Julien, Skeete, and as we head on into this interview, we are chatting with Brian Thomas, chairman of Trinbago Tobago region. Good morning to you and welcome.
Into Adana also.
All right, and we're so happy to have you on set. And I almost said Brian Trinbago Thomas because when these chairmen get into their position, they are so passionate.
That's right.
About steel pan. So as we get the conversation started, I know for many of my friends and colleagues, they indicated. The thing got going with preparations in the yards and all of that from late in 2023. Tell us about that energy coming into 2024 and the high before we even start to talk about the small band competition finals.
Well, we came out straight out of the Tobago Carnival where we had Rhythm Steel and Powder, which was another excellent production by Trinbago. And the Panthers keep buzzing till now, and it will continue until Ash Wednesday. So we have the small bands. We kicked it off with the single pan bands, where we had Metro Stars in the finals, representing Tobago very well there. Then we went into the small band where we had 8 small bands from Tobago qualifying to the semi-finals. And then now we are here 1 week after, with 4 bands qualifying for the finals, and Tobago again continue to dominate the small band category because here we have T&T New East Side leading from prelims, semi-finals, and going into the finals. And of course, we can't count out the other bands, the defending champion of Tongue Fascinators, and of course, First Citizens Tobago Panthers, and our boys. So we have these 4 bands contending for the first prize this afternoon.
When you have an amount of as much as 8 bands from Tobago, small little Tobago, right, competing or qualifying for the semi-finals on the national level, I mean, there must be some measure of commendation to be given, not only to the seat you hold, but also to the band leaders and to the members of these steel band, these steel band clubs. There must be some measure of commendation. What do you think is the reason for the type of passion that they have and the type of drive that causes them to be so committed, not just to the competition, but also to the pride that comes with being able to qualify?
Well, first off, the steel band is our national instrument, although it's not officially proclaimed. It is our national instrument. And then again, the community work, the networking of the youths, the camaraderie, everything that's coming together. The whole atmosphere during this period of time where, where you meet your peers, you're coming up together, the friendly rival, everything comes into the mix and drive that kind of energy and that passion for 8 bands, as you say, in a small community like Tobago to be able to function. One of the things too is that most of the players are playing interlocking with 3 or 4 bands at least. And also we also have that friendly rival, although it's a competition, it's also friendly. We help out another band. You see, nowhere else but Tobago, you can see that a band competing another band and helping out that band. And also we have all of that friendly rival going on here.
I want you to share with us as well. For me, this is quite an achievement. Tell us a little bit about the arrangers for these bands that have gotten up there in terms of going forward for this competition.
Well, we started off with 8 bands, and out of those 8 bands, we had 7 arrangers from Tobago. And then we have going into the finals with the 4 bands. We also have 3 arrangers from Tobago, which is Kirsch Ramsey, and he's actually leading the pack with points going into the finals. We have OJ Richards, we have Michael Toby. So those are the 3 arrangers now that are pushing the way forward to get that prize later on this evening. And these guys have been doing a lot of work. They are also like Kirsch. Kirsch is also arranging in the medium category and also one of the arrangers for Silver Stars in Trinidad. All OJ also is also arranging in the medium category, Pan Elders in Trinidad and Silver Stars also in Trinidad. And Michael Toby is the arranger in the large category for Redemption Songsetters.
Brian, you mentioned earlier that some of the members play with different bands, right? I know you're saying that the arrangers also arrange for different bands as well. How on earth do you pan men find the time to spread yourself in all these different bands and yet perform with that level of excellence?
It's passion. It is passion, and that's why we should embrace. And I continue to ask the authorities to embrace the steel pan, because when you, as you say, find the time to do all these nice things, you don't have the time to do all the wrong things. So that's why I keep on saying, pan is the crime plan, and I am copywriting that statement. Pan is the crime plan, and that is going to be the mantra for 2024 where Pan Trinbago is concerned. Pan is the crime plan.
You make a profound kind of
That's
statement.
right. That's
Give
right.
me a Beverly Ramsey more in
That's
the mix
right.
there, man.
That's right. That's right. So is it that you're advocating for pan to be something recognized throughout the entire year, not just for carnival time? We need to get pan in schools, into different youth clubs. Is this what you're advocating for? Because I'm here for it. I'm here for it.
Yes, it's a must, and with that, and when you have the people in the youths in the pantheon, you don't have that time to make all those mischief. You don't have the time to be involved in gangs. So it's not going to be 6 and 7. The only 6 and 7 you're going to have is 6 bass and 7 basses. So that is what we are looking at. So it is important, as I said before, the community pantheons should be the community centers, because they are more active than community centers. So therefore, the Division of Community Development should invest. The school, Pan School, Division of Education should invest. Division of Culture. So it's spread across the different divisions within the THE, and we are asking you all to come on board and let make this thing work, because you cannot go wrong by it. It's a solid plan, and once we get the children off the street, we have less crime and less wrongdoing in the island of Tobago.
Opportunity in an interview like this, because every time I speak to my colleagues, they say generally we would talk and we would say who at the top and the other Tobago bands. I wanted to highlight all 8 before we came down to the 4.
Right. So all 8 bands that qualified for the semi-finals was as TNTech New Eastside I mentioned, leading the pack from prelims till now. We have Uptown Fascinators, First Citizens Tobago Panthers, Our Boys, C&B Concordians, Alpha Pan Pioneers, Westside Symphony, and Plymouth Bettles Steel Sensation. Those was the 8 bands that went into the semi-finals, and then going into the finals further, we had TNTech New Eastside Dimension, First Citizens Tobago Panthers, Uptown Fascinators, and Our Boys. And I know these bands, we have been practicing all night. We came in wee hours of this morning. You are lucky to get me on this interview right now. And we are also preparing to go down to Skinner Park again in a few hours. So the traffic, and then they are doing some road routes. So we have a very tight schedule. But we always prevail when we're back against the wall, and Tobago and the Pan Man is always built on resilience. So it's no problem to us, man. So we will go and make Tobago proud this afternoon. And let me just add also that Uptown Fascinators are the defending champion. And although they are not leading the pack right now, I know they are coming out hard to defend their crown. However, there's another Tobago band, TNTech Eastside, looking for that crown also, and you can't count out Tobago Panthers and Our Boys in this race.
Excellent indeed. Remind us of the details for later on, those heading there in person, even our viewers across in Trinidad that now deciding, definitely are going to be heading there. Remind us of the details for later on.
Right, so the competition is at Skinner Park, San Fernando, the new refurbished Skinner Park. I think this will be the first major event that will be held there after the renovation. Then it starts at 7 p.m. We're going to have 15 bands taking part. Cost $200, another Trinbago production. So asking people to come out and help support the steel pan. It will be a really nice event tonight. Also, I would like to say thanks to the Tobago House of Assembly to lending some support to the bands, to the 4 bands that done, they came through at last minute and get some support, which was really commendable of them.
All right, Brian, we just want to say congratulations to you, and we want to say all the best to our Tobago bands. We know that you all are going to leave your heart on the stage there tonight. We know that. You have our full support. Sure. Sometimes when you look at social media, you see all the comments coming in from all the supporters. So I know they're going to be locked in. For those of us who can't make it to Skeete Park tonight, they're going to be locked on, they're going to be looking, they're going to be viewing and giving all their support. And you have the support, of course, of Tobago Updates Television. We want to say congratulations from now. We send you congratulations from all now.
Speaking it into me.
That's right. Because we
Tobago will hold on to
that's right. Because I know Tobago, we always bring it knowing that we have to come up against giants. Well, we are building our own giants here in Tobago, in the Pan fraternity, in the Pan arena. So we want to say congratulations and all the very best. We will be viewing and supporting you guys. Ladies and gentlemen, we've been speaking with Brian Thomas, and he is the chairman of Pan Trinbago Tobago region, talking about the finals happening tonight there at Skeete Park. So come on out and support our own Tobago as we take the crown again.
Seriously, it's certainly going to be a movie. I know there are persons looking forward to this from long time. Shout out to my good friend Karine out there. long time. They're looking forward to it. Nothing called Pan that they're missing.
That's right.
They're either following it, they're in person or following it closely on social media, but always are excellent supporters. And I know there are many persons here in Tobago, as well as my colleagues in Trinidad, lovers of this steel pan. And I want to say that's so important, because we got to ensure that this industry continues to thrive. And I'm always particularly happy to see what is now a more positive twist and a more positive spin on this steel pan. It's one of those spaces and places where you can certainly encourage persons to get involved. I think Brian Thomas, I couldn't say it any better. Certainly steel pan must be part of the crime plan.
That's right.
In terms of going forward there. So commendations again indeed. Who do we have coming up next in the lineup?
Up next is Zav and Kristen Campbell, both speaking about the Birth of Sunrise sessions. They are coming up next, so we'll be having that conversation as well. So of course we're asking you to stay with us as we continue our programming, but of course we must go for a short break. And while we head on out to the break, we invite you to share the live. We'll be back.